welcome back to episode 9 of Paranoid Disposition.
This is an episode that I've been very excited to do.
It's actually going to be our very first 2-part episode, so tune in next week for the conclusion.
So today we are discussing the Denver airport.
Which is a conspiracy that Beth hadn't heard of until I recommended this topic.
Okay, don't act so cool and so like you know everything. Once I learned about it, I was really fucking excited. I just had never heard of it.
Well,
Give me a break. There aren't enough History Channel documentaries about it. They need to step up their game.
Motherfuckers.
This is such a good topic. They really should get on this.
Well, I'm sure most of you have heard of the Denver International Airport, and if not, there is a lot of
There are a lot of conspiracies about the Denver airport.
So, Denver got their first airport back in the early 1900s.
Yeah, and what was that called?
Well, I didn't write down the name of the very first one, but they built an airport.
Oh, I think... Okay, keep going. I think you just didn't write down the name of the airport. I'm like, it's in our fucking outline, you asshole.
No. There's one before.
The one before.
I'm
Okay,
talking about.
I gotcha.
But it was like a very, very small one.
Okay.
So in
I'll give you a pass.
In 1919, Ira Boyd Humphreys began planning the airport, which was originally called Denver Municipal Airport. It was later named Stapleton International Airport. It was the primary airport serving Denver, Colorado. It was opened in 1929. It later became Stapleton Airfield after a 1944 expansion in honor of Benjamin F. Stapleton, the city's mayor most of the time between 1923 and 1947. And he was the force behind the project when it began. So it was a really old airport. And in the 1980s, plans were underway to replace Stapleton with a new airport because it was plagued with a number of problems, including inadequate separation between runways, leading to extremely long waits and bad weather, little or no room for other airlines that wanted to use Stapleton for new destinations, a lawsuit over aircraft noise brought by residents of a nearby Park Hill community, and then legal threats by Adams County, Colorado, to block a runway extension into Rocky Mountain Arsenal lands. So, from 1980 to 1983, the Denver Regional Council of Governments investigated 6 areas for a new metro area airport that were north and east of Denver. In September 1989, under the leadership of Denver Mayor Federico Pena?
Sure.
Federal officials authorized the outlay of the first $60 million for the construction of DIA, Denver International Airport.
Did you mean 1989?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Is it not?
You may have said that, but I heard 1999.
Well, you all will.
And you know how much I like to correct you, so I just wanted to jump on that opportunity.
Hashtag correct Alex.
It's fun. Everyone should try it. Okay, continue.
So it was scheduled to open October 29th, 1993, and it eventually opened 2 years after that.
Yeah, it eventually opened on February 28th, 1995, which was 16 months behind. It also, so not only did the construction run overtime, obviously with overtime there's cost overage. So the construction cost ended up being $4.8 billion, which is $2 billion over budget. They employed 11,000 workers during the construction. It is the largest airport in the U.S. by total land area.
Yeah, how big is it? 52 square miles?
52.4 square miles, and that's 531 acres.
And it is more than 1.5 times bigger than the size of Manhattan.
Yes, I read that. And it has the longest runway in public use.
Yeah, it's 16,000 feet, I believe.
Yep, 4,877 miles.
Damn.
To give you an idea, the largest runway at LAX, which is a really big airport, is 12,090 feet. So, yeah, it's pretty big.
See, and a lot of people, conspiracy theorists, really think that there's something else going on because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's the first airport, Stapleton, was only 6 miles outside of Colorado. This one is about 25 miles away from downtown Denver. So,
but it's also huge, so it definitely needs more space.
And they did that because they wanted to keep on adding on. Because one of the problems with Stapleton was they couldn't really add more because it was such an old airport, and there was
eventually you can't improve it, so that makes sense. So there are many reasons why DIA opened 16 months behind schedule. This construction was riddled with problems. Part of the problem was that they were trying to use new technology. They were building tunnels that would have these really technologically advanced rail and baggage handling systems.
Yeah, there were like 19 miles.
Yeah, and it posed a lot of problems because it was really technology that hasn't been used before. So they had design issues and financial issues, and at one point the metal workers actually went on strike. Yep. Yes, and actually we'll go into the tunnels a little bit more in a minute, but the underground tunnel system was eventually shut down in 2003 because it was plagued with so many mechanical problems.
Didn't it keep on going for a few more years? Because what I read, it ended in 2008 officially. So I guess, I don't know.
I don't know. Whose information's better?
Hashtag correct Beth or Alex.
No, correct Alex always. So they spent all this money, all this time on a system that they had to shut down eventually anyways. So it was a huge loss of money.
And all that money wasted.
Uh-huh. So do you want to go into the tunnels?
Ooh, I would love to go into the tunnels.
I would too. I would too. All this research was really making me want to go to Denver. It really made me want to go visit my brother or something, just as an excuse. And I want to creep around the airport. But then I was thinking, I'd probably get arrested because I really just want to sneak around and take a bunch of pictures. All this reading really made me want to go.
So before construction could begin on the 1.5 million square foot terminal and its attached concourses, a series of tunnels had to...
Concourses.
What did I say?
I don't know, concurses or something like that.
Well, whatever.
Hashtag correct, Alex.
These tunnels had to be constructed on the site. These tunnels would house the most... Wait, we just went over this. Wow. Okay. Well, we were going into the tunnels. Yeah. That is accurate. Well, when they were going down to dig them, they moved 110 million cubic yards of earth, which far exceeds the requirements for a dig of that size. If you go to Denver International Airport, you'll see these huge mounds of earth around the airport. Mm-hmm. Because, they had to put the...
They had to put the dirt somewhere.
Yeah. But it was 1/3 of the amount of earth they moved when they dug out the Panama Canal.
They moved a lot.
Yeah, they moved a lot.
Okay, yeah.
So, Stu Webb, a former construction worker who allegedly took part in the construction of an underground section of the Denver International Airport in the 1990s, says a massive 2.53-mile long tunnel system exists in and around the complex. According to Webb, the construction company told him and other workers at the time that the massive tunnel system they were constructing, which leads to at least 5 other underground structures on the airport property, were for wastewater and sewage. However, according to Webb, he quickly caught on to the massive 12 by 16 tunnels were for something other than wastewater and sewage, saying in a later interview, you could fit specifically designed buses in the tunnels. They were that big.
Yeah, I read that apparently when they were building, they hired a bunch of different contractors, and each contractor would be hired to work on a specific area, and once they finished that area, they would be fired, and they'd bring someone else in to work on the next area. So basically, no one could know the whole plan. They would get a piece of the puzzle.
This kind of reminds me of the murder house.
I know, right? That's what H.H. Holmes did? Yeah, that's what H.H. Holmes did. Is that what you were thinking of?
Yep.
I don't know why my mind went, when you said murder house, I thought of the Winchester Mystery House. But yeah, H.H. Holmes, he definitely did that. Hey, it worked for him.
Well,
Man,
until he was caught.
Oh, I know.
You seem really depressed about that.
Oh, sorry. I just, I want a murderer to succeed. He looks really scared.
And now you're on the watch list.
Oh, shit. Well, I have a conspiracy podcast. I'm probably already on it.
Well, there are blueprints that exist of the 5 buildings that were buried at the beginning of the construction. Each of the 5 buildings were built completely, but then it was decided that they were positioned incorrectly and they were buried. When asked about the underground buildings, airport authorities claim that the buildings are being used for storage.
Yeah, I read about that. That's so... I don't know. It's just weird. That they would build them and then bury them because they messed up. I don't know. Just something about it is strange. So there's another thing I want to talk about is a very special person.
Me?
Not today, Alex. Sorry.
Shucks.
Yeah. I want to talk about, well, his name is Phil Schneider, but in my notes it says Paul Schneider.
Yeah, and I went to look it up, and I was like, why is Jim from The Office popping up?
No, it's not Jim from The Office. It's from the guy from Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah, duh. Oh,
Get it together, motherfucker.
they're both mockumentaries.
I know, and they do kind of look similar. No, so his name is Phil Schneider. And he's well known in the conspiracy community for telling stories of his time as a government structural engineer who helped build underground military bases all over
Geologist.
the U.S. Can you say that one more time?
And geologist.
Oh, he was a geologist?
A self-taught geologist.
Oh, okay. That's a little different.
No, because there are some websites where, like, he's a geologist, and I looked into it more, and they were like, he was a self-taught geologist. And I was like, that...
Can
no.
I be like...
No. No.
I want to just start saying, like, I'm a self-taught doctor. Can I do that? Yeah, I have a doctorate. I mean, it's self-taught, but I have it.
I made it in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Look how legit it looks.
So, to be honest, reading about this Phil Schneider stuff, shit, kind of scared me. I got a little scared.
I did too. I was like, what
Yeah.
if they come after us?
Yeah. Should we not talk about that?
Talk about what, us getting murdered? Or...
Yeah.
No, we can talk about us getting
Okay.
murdered.
Okay, fine.
You're obsessed with murder?
But I don't want to be murdered. Let me make that clear. I do not want to be murdered.
But you will forever be immortalized.
Oh, man. Okay, so the creepy stuff about Phil Schneider.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Okay, so, sorry. So, can you talk for a second?
Yeah, can I backtrack on the whole Phil thing?
Yes.
Real quick? We will get back to you, Phil, I promise. You will not be forgotten.
You'll never be forgotten.
So let's take a few steps back. So I was doing some research, and supposedly there is somebody had a source, as I do air quotes, and he had
Really solid source, I'm guessing.
he had details regarding a deep underground military installation located on the grounds of the Denver International Airport.
Oh, my.
So let me just go through these bullet points real quick. Level 1 of the airport is inset into the ground to protect from vibrations coming from underneath. The baseboard characteristics lead on to this by the way of their technical design. The employees have been told the reason for this is to protect from vibrations from the public train that leads back and forth to all concourses, A, B, and C. The airport's gate and door numbers correspond to an emergency action response plans that indicate specific details to people in the know. The design of the airport is built to throw people off as the levels are labeled differently on each in some cases, and grading changes make it difficult to pinpoint your actual elevation. This was a security feature added by the designers.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Due to alleged lawsuits,
Oh, I hate law sorts. Those are the worst.
or potentially staged events, the United Airlines section, which lies within one of the basement levels at DIA, which is Denver National Airport. 'Cause I feel
Yeah,
like
we're gonna say DIA a lot. That means Denver
or
International
DEM,
Airport.
but I prefer DIA.
Yeah, I feel like DIA makes the most sense.
So It's said to have infectious mold fungal. It was said to have an infectious mold and fungal outbreak that prompted officials to quarantine off areas of the underground, making them inaccessible to the airport personnel.
Yeah, that was
fishy.
really sketchy. That was quite sketchy.
So this quarantine section of the underground was confirmed by a source to be located in Concourse B's east side lower levels. And there's a landfill, which we will get into later, located off of Tower Road, 2 miles west of Jefferson? Is it Jefferson? Jefferson?
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about like a road?
No, it's a terminal.
Oh, a name of terminal. I have no idea.
Okay,
I didn't look up the names of the terminals.
It's
Sorry.
2 miles west of...
That shows how prepared I am.
Jefferson Terminal was added onto in the early aughts, despite the airport's appeal to the district court against the landfill in 2002, which claimed that it was an FAA safety hazard. The landfill has a functioning element to it, but it's mocked up to look like a landfill hidden in plain sight. There isn't much garbage in the landfill, and it's otherwise spotless. There's a militarized God damn it, Alex.
I can't help you because I can't see your notes.
Well, there's an entrance located in the United Airlines section of the underground. Of the underground? Who the fuck wrote this?
You did it. You should have. Alex.
Sleepy was I when I did this. So the actual door number... What is with my...
Should I just do this by myself?
You can finish.
How far down were you?
There's like 3 more bullet points.
Okay. Gates can lock down certain sections of the airport in the event of an emergency. There's a nearly 3-mile-long tunnel that heads...
See, I'm not the only one.
Fuck off. A nearly 3-mile tunnel heads out from the intermediary entrance BE-64B to a full-blown Department of Defense, aka DOD, sanctioned militarized entrance nestled in a set of 5 buildings 120 feet beneath the surface, located northeast of the Jepson terminal. We're professionals. All VIP activity typically originates under the northwest section of Concourse C. The dirt in parts of the train tunnels looks to be unnatural, and, in quotes, if anyone steps on it, they know, said my source.
What is that supposed to mean?
What does that mean? Okay, now that I've read your awful notes, can I talk about Phil Schneider?
Yeah. Now we can go back into Phil.
Okay, let's get into Phil. So he spent 2 years giving lectures about government cover-ups, black budgets, and UFOs. One of the things that he claimed to have knowledge on is the DIA. He says he was an engineer during the construction in '94 and has been in the tunnels. In the late 80s, he says he was offered the position of head engineer for construction of the underground base at DIA. Mm-hmm. So he claims that there are 5 secret underground buildings that are 75 to 120 feet deep each. They all have interconnecting tunnels that are 2.5 to 3 miles long and 16 feet wide. He said he's also heard of a huge tunnel that connects to Dreamland, aka Area 51.
Okay, I looked into this, and I think that's kind of crazy because it's over 800 miles away. Is there really going to be?
You're ruining the magic, Alex.
I'm sorry.
That's my job.
I know. Yeah. When I was looking at this, I'm going to be the skeptic.
Yeah. Okay. So he also went on to say that there are plans for hundreds of miles of underground roads that could hold bullet trains to travel between bases. And he went on to say that most of the bases are jointly used by humans and ancient Earth races or alien races. Okay, this is when it gets weird. Okay, you ready?
Are there reptilians involved?
You're ready to get weird?
I'm super ready. Okay. Let's get weird, guys.
Okay. So the purpose for these bases are ranging from medical research labs to work camps to military accommodation. Schneider describes interactions with tall grays and eerie descriptions of underground prison camps. He says that there are thousands of children being used, and when they get sick and overworked and ill and they just cannot work anymore, they are killed and eaten by the aliens.
This sounds like a fucked up sweatshop.
Yeah, you think? You get eaten? Okay, so other use of the base is a joint effort by the CIA and aliens to create a deadly bio-warfare weapon using glandular secretions from the aliens.
Oh
It is said to have no effect on aliens, but is dead to I've ruined that. Fuck. Deadly to humans. Obviously, this is how I put it in my notes. Obviously, there is no antidote because that would just ruin it.
No.
Or if there is, only the government has it. So while Paul offers,
You're doing it again.
while Phil, it's just how it is in my notes.
You wrote down Paul in your notes too.
Yes, my entire notes is all Paul. While Phil offers little to no proof to back up his claims, he does present photographs that he says are of the tunnels below the DIA. And yes, you have them in your hand.
17 pages of pictures, which we will post on our site.
Yes.
Facebook.
Yeah,
site.
we'll post them on the Facebook. Other possible reasons for the underground tunnel base, refuge for politicians.
Yeah, just in case of
Nuclear fallout.
Yeah, like that. Continuity of government.
Yes.
Continuity. Whoa.
Continuity of government.
Jesus
Exactly.
Christ.
And it could also, and this is something that we're going to get more into in episode 2 or part 2, is it could be a safe haven for New World Order during a planned attack. So what do you think? The other thing about Phil. There's another thing that's weird about Phil.
Are you talking about when he was in that war with the Greys underground?
No, because I was kind of thinking we talk about that later if we did an episode on that. He was involved in another airport or another
Underground base.
Yeah, another alien base. But there's some mysteries about his death.
Oh.
Did you read about this?
I'm scarred for life. I'll let you know that.
Oh, should we not talk about it?
No, you can.
Oh, okay. I thought you were giving me a don't talk about this on.
I saw some things I didn't want to see.
Shit, now I really want to know.
Keep on talking.
Okay. So Phil Schneider is dead. Let's just say that.
R.I.P.
And so he was found dead in his apartment. A friend of his was coming over, and he kept knocking on his door, and he wasn't answering. So eventually, he called his landlord.
And a detective, right?
Probably, yeah, I think so. This was on January 17th, 1996.
Oh, I thought we could match.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There was a detective with him. It was his friend Al Pratt, the manager of the apartment building, and a detective. And they entered the apartment, and they found his body.
And he was there for maybe 5 days to a week.
Yeah, he's been dead for a bit. So initially, they attributed his death to stroke.
Which is weird if you see how he actually died.
Well, some people think that he was murdered.
Well, okay. Well, do you want to know what scarred me?
Yes.
I saw the crime scene photos.
What?
You don't want to see
I
them.
really want to see them.
You don't.
Are they really bad? Is he rotting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they found him with a catheter around his neck. He was strangled.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And there was blood on the ground.
Holy fuck.
And the thing was, he was left-handed, and he was missing 3 of his fingers. So he couldn't tie the knot by himself.
And also, that's kind of... I don't think you could,
that's a weird way to kill yourself
was it just
anyway.
okay, so the catheter around his neck, if he did that to himself, he would have to be hanging.
Yeah.
You can't, strangle yourself to death without, using gravity.
Yeah, and it was wrapped around his neck 3 times. It was so tight the coroner could barely get it off.
Oh my God. I did not know that. In what I read, they just mentioned, basically, they didn't say why people thought he was murdered. How could anyone rule it not a murder?
And the thing is, they took samples of his blood and his urine, but they didn't run tests. And they threw it away a year late. Like they keep it for 12 months, but they lost it or threw it away before they could actually do anything with it.
But someone from the FBI showed up.
Men in Black. Mm-hmm. Better watch it back. But yeah.
Wow, that's so much more interesting than I thought.
Yeah.
Did they ever? Was it officially ruled a murder?
No. They called it a suicide.
That's so suspect. Who cuts off their own? Wait, was he missing fingers?
No,
or
no,
he
no.
Cut off his fingers.
He already missed his fingers.
Okay.
He was already missing his digits.
Okay. Wait, how was there blood? You don't bleed if you hang yourself.
Well, he wasn't. He was in a chair.
Oh.
He was like.
Then yeah, there's no way he did that to himself.
Yeah, you all could see that. And
yeah, you could totally see Alex laying back in a chair pretending to be dead.
And I really,
because this is a video.
And I really don't want to post any of the like.
No, I don't think you
don't
should
wanna
post
do that.
them. If the listeners want to know, they can Google Phil Schneider crime scene photos, and you've been warned. You know,
warmed.
You've been warned. Well, in a way, you have been warned because we've warmed you up on the subject.
So something that Phil was into. This is probably my favorite acronym and how I feel about this subject.
Great.
He was involved with, like we said before, deep underground military bases. Or...
dumb. Yes, they call them dumb. Dumb.
And supposedly they're all around us.
Yeah.
And
there's one in the next room.
There's actually one right down the street, which is what I want to talk about.
Ooh, I'm excited.
So... a couple miles, maybe about 15 miles away from where we are right now, where we're
undisclosed
sitting,
location.
there is something called Mount Weather.
Oh, right. I know about Mount Weather.
Of course you do.
Yeah, of course I do.
So it is the center of operations for FEMA, and it's also known as the High Point Special Facility. The facility is a major relocation site for the highest level of civilian and military officials in case of national disaster, playing a major role in U.S. Continuity of government. They actually took some people there during the September 11th attacks.
Oh, yeah. I heard that George Bush went somewhere under the VA, though. Under the VA in Martinsburg. That's where I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
See, it's weird that all these things are like right in our backyard.
I know, isn't it? But I mean, okay. The way I've always thought about, say, Area 51 is it's infamous. Everybody knows about it. So if they have really important stuff, they're not going to do it at Area 51 where everyone knows about it already. So since everyone knows about Mount Weather, doesn't it make sense that they go to a less known about location or something that we've never even heard about?
But when I was doing research, Congress doesn't really even know what goes on over at Mount Weather.
Like, you mean like they have no oversight?
Yeah, none whatsoever.
Oh, let's not bring politics into this. I'm in a good mood. I don't want to talk about that.
And it's kind of creepy because I do go hiking over there because the Appalachian Trail is really close.
Yeah.
There are 10 feet fences with barbed wire.
Oh,
signs
shit.
everywhere saying "Do not cross." Like if they see you with a camera or anything, they'll take it from you.
That's like at Area 51. I've watched videos of people driving down to the fence, and there's like a certain point where you can go to.
Yeah.
And you can see people on a hill watching you. They're like in these black trucks. And if you stay there for too long, basically, if you don't...
Because you've been there before, right?
I haven't been to Area 51.
I thought you have.
No, I've been to... New Mexico. Help me. The really famous alien landing happened in the 40s in New Mexico.
I was thinking about that place that you went. That was in X-Files. No, that's...
Oh, no, that was in Canada.
And that's not really...
No, it's not really an alien thing. It's just an X-Files thing. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting this. It's like the most famous alien landing.
Hashtag help Beth out.
Ugh.
But anyway,
I'll just Google it. You keep talking.
yeah, while she Googles that, I will talk some more about Mount Weather. So it wasn't really brought into the public eye until the Washington Post ran a story about it in 1974 after a crash of a jetliner.
Oh, wait, are you talking about Mount Weather?
Yeah.
Roswell. That's what I was talking
I
about.
confuse Roswell and Area because they're so close.
Well,
right?
yeah,
So I always
New Mexico and Nevada.
I lump them together.
Yeah. I really want to go to Area 51, though. I have been to Roswell, and there is an alien museum, and it's so cool.
Well, if we ever get any sponsors, maybe they would let us.
We could do
an
a
episode out
sponsored trip. Oh my God. No, we should go camping at Area 51. That's like a thing. People go, and there's that diner, which is in X-Files. There's
Yeah.
like an alien themed diner, and people go and they camp out there and they like go to the diner. Mulder goes to the diner.
Let's go.
Yes, please. Okay.
But so
Mount Weather.
it was known to the public after the crash in 1974, but it originally opened back in the 1800s. It was a weather
Really?
station, and then it was
A weather
also
station.
in World War II.
Typical.
It was used for a civilian public service facility. At that time, there was 2 buildings on the site. It was an administration dormitory building and a laboratory. Those buildings still stand. Of course, there are more modern buildings around them now. Mm-hmm. The underground facility within Mount Weather, designated Area B, was completed in 1959. Did you like my face?
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a good face.
FEMA established training facilities on the mountain service Area A in 1979.
Are there FEMA work camps?
You were so scared about that when you were doing research.
No, okay, I wasn't scared about it. I was annoyed about it. I texted you, if I have to read about FEMA work camps one more time, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
I was reading something about like certain Walmart stores were closing down south because they were putting FEMA work camps.
Oh my
underneath them.
God, I'm so tired of that conspiracy. I'm so over it. Okay, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
So the above ground portion of FEMA complex Area A is at least 434 acres. This measurement includes a training area of unspecified
Training?
size. Area B, the underground component, contains 600,000 square feet.
Oh my.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring a little bit of like actual realism into this.
Oh wow, you really are playing the Scully today, aren't you?
So, I have a friend who has a job, and they do stuff where they drive and they like drop stuff off, pick stuff up.
Is it a drug dealer?
No, no. But they actually have to go to Mount Weather sometimes.
Ooh.
And so like when you go in there, they like you have to get out of your vehicle. They have dogs that go around your vehicle. They check underneath of it, inside of it. They pat you down, take away your cell phone, everything.
But the drug dealer hates that.
And they lock you in a room. And they like put like they blow air on you. And then you go into another room and then you do whatever and then it's the same thing again and you leave. Like when they told me this, I was like, you have to be shitting me. This is real.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. All my sci-fi dreams come true. That's really cool. Wow. I'm going to need names after we stop recording.
Okay.
Okay.
You've met them before, actually.
Yay!
But so supposedly this is what I read on the internet.
Okay.
Diving into more
Stepping away
conspiracy.
from realism.
Mount Weather is virtually an underground city, according to formal personnel interviewed. Buried deep inside the earth, Mount Weather was equipped with such amenities as private apartments and dormitories, streets and sidewalks,
Okay.
cafeterias and hospitals,
Well, that's needed.
a water purification system, power plant, and general
Nice.
office buildings, a small lake fed by fresh water from underground springs,
Wow.
its own mass transit system, a TV communication system, and a TV communication system.
Yeah, so like an underground city.
Yeah, and so it's pretty much a self-sustaining underground command center for FEMA.
Wow, that's really cool. I have a show that I watch that Mount Weather comes into. I mean, it's like a sci-fi show.
The 100.
Yes. It's much better than most CW shows, I swear.
Have you seen? You've seen the Arrowverse. They're all good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Arrow kind of sucks now. Flash is where it's at. In season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, Yes.
I haven't started watching that yet.
We're not sponsored by CW.
Not yet. Okay, so do you think we've talked about everything we need to in part 1?
Yeah, I think we did actually very well.
Me too.
So,
Tune in next week.
yeah, as we finish.
This has been Paranoid Disposition. I'm Beth.
I'm Alex.
And you can follow us online. Our Facebook is Paranoid Disposition. Same with Instagram.
And Tumblr.
And on Twitter, we're Paranoid Dispo. I'm on Instagram at Chronically Enchanted.
I'm Ham Alex Smith.
And keep an open mind.
But don't be an idiot.
Bye.